Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here for this conversation with us. This discussion is part of our collective series grounded in, the truth that mental health is more than just seasonal, it's daily work for us. And it's not something that we tend to only in moments of crisis, during the awareness months, or when something has gone wrong. It's something that we need to maintain, nurture, and protect consistently. And so this conversation is being intentionally held from two perspectives: the Black mental health providers' perspective, but also for those who are seeking and currently receiving care. And so we believe in protection, clarity, sustainability. We believe that that's necessary on both sides of the therapeutic relationship. But before we begin, I want to make sure that we have a few community agreements here. We speak from lived and professional experience. We don't fix, diagnose, or rescue. If you have a mental health issue or need mental health support, please call or text 988. We honor boundaries, our boundaries, your boundaries, and we hold space that is with respect and care. So let's start by introductions from our panel. I can go first. My name is Dr. Tiana Charles. I am a licensed clinical social worker in 6 different states. My main one is Texas. And I own Calliope's Corner. I also have a full time, but I'm here on behalf of Calliope's Corner, my private practice. And then Dr. Carissa is next to me.
Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Carissa Doster Hoffman. I hail from Wisconsin, but I live in Texas. I own a private practice with my husband, DHTC, Doster and Hoffman Therapy and Consultation. I love doing this work. I love having these conversations, so I'm really excited.
And I see Terry next to her.
Hello, everyone. I am Terry Terrell. I am from Wichita, Kansas. I am the owner, excuse me, of Odyssey Counseling and Consulting. I'm a licensed master social worker, and so I enjoy doing this space as well. Working with people. I work with 10-year-olds and up, family, individuals, helping them get their mental health right. So I'm excited to be in this space with you guys.
Jonathan.
What up? What up? My name is Jonathan Caesar. I'm the owner of Green Shore Counseling. I'm a licensed professional counselor here in Texas, and looking forward to this.
Yes, I am Darian Rose. I am the proud owner of Therapeutic Rose Counseling. I am a licensed professional counselor, and I hail right here in the state of Texas. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas. So I'm looking forward to the conversation.
For sure. What's good? What's good, everybody? My name is Brandon Vasquez. I'm a licensed professional counselor in 2 states here in Texas and as well as Washington, D.C. I originally hail from Florida, but now I live here in Houston, and I'm very happy to be here. Happy Friday.
I am so excited for this conversation too. So let's start with a round robin. I would like to ask the panelists to answer in one sentence. When you hear about Black mental health is everyday work, when you hear that phrase, what does that mean to you? I'm gonna start backwards.
Oh,
Brandon.
word. Yeah. I sensed it go backwards just to throw us off. Okay, so what does Black mental health is every day? What does that mean to me? It means every day is work to maintain your sanity, maintain your mental health, maintain your peace, maintain serenity, whatever it is that you're seeking. It is constant work. It's not something that you can just make and then you're good for the next month. You got to maintain that every single day, small steps that lead to the overall goal of wellness, mental health. Whether that be, for me, that's like making sure I'm moving daily, getting some steps in, working out, make sure I'm eating nutritious meals, making sure I'm drinking my water. Um, Only one person drinking water. Come on, two. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So like I say, mental health is an everyday task. It's something that you do every day. You don't stop. It's a marathon.
For sure, that's important. Darian?
Yes, for me, it means being self aware of all of our blackness at all times, doing the best that we can, even when we know that our best might not be enough, but being able to verbalize that, taking care of ourselves mentally, spiritually, physically, emotionally, enjoying our black and all of its essence that it is, the good and bad, and be able to address that, the good and bad, and being self aware, not taking it for granted, because it is very special.
For sure.
All right. I feel like Black mental health is everyday work. I think like as Black people, I feel like with mental health, sometimes we like put it on the back burner because we so busy or we got so much stuff going on, and we lose focus of the fact, or like although we going through something, like we push through a lot. I feel like we always pushing through, but I feel like that everyday work is like, nah, you ain't always got to push through. Like let's take moments to do things, kind of like Brandon said. Like let's focus on it every single day.
Absolutely.
And these guys make valid points. I think black mental health is a daily hustle. Black communities really navigate stressors that don't pause. The racism, the microaggressions, the code switching, even safety concerns and generational stuff, right? So caring for mental health becomes a continuous act of like maintenance for us, not just like a one-time intervention. It's like something that we have to do on a consistent basis, the little stuff. Like he talked about the water and drinking the water, journaling, breathing, these type of things. These are the things that help us stay in a good space, not just for ourselves, but for our families.
Absolutely.
Am I supposed to talk? Is it my turn?
You, Doc.
Oh, okay. Um, no, I just echo what our four wonderful gentlemen said. It's an honor, it's a privilege to be a Black person, and we have to protect that. Every day is important for our mental health, especially as Black people, especially in the United States. It's difficult being Black here, it always has been, but we are in a place in time where we can carve out that time for our own mental health and that be sacred space for us in multiple ways. And so it's definitely it's everyday work individually, but for us six, it literally is everyday work as Black therapists that provide crucial, crucial services to our community. So, it's easy to say it's everyday work, but it's a lot harder to do it and make sure we're holding ourselves accountable to that everyday work.
Absolutely. I agree with all of you. It's self awareness, it's holding yourself accountable, but also taking care of each other because a lot of times that's where we fall short. Because, when you think about it, when it comes to mental health services, when it comes to seeing a therapist, what happens in this house stays in this house. It's the different things that we were passed down from generations to generations, um, because that was a protective mechanism. But I think it's time to really protect each other outside of the house as well. And so that brings me to the conversation of how Black mental health is really only visible in moments of crisis. And so, how do we, while awareness months and all of that is important, how do we um, how do we make it to where it's not so limiting? Why do you think that we use Black mental health as a reactive factor rather than a consistent conversation. Whoever wants to take it can take it.
You saying like when you say reactive, it's like we only think about mental health when it's time like to because some shit that went wrong or like
Hmm.
been a crisis. I feel
Because
like
if you think about it, the most recent instance that happened with the two boys down south, right? Um, it's up for debate if it was actual um, unaliving themselves or someone unaliving them. But let's say it was unaliving themselves. The whole conversation went mute until that happened. And then someone else did it the same day. And then we have the conversation, right? So it's almost like something has to happen before we have the conversation that Black Lives Matter.
Man, that's for real. I think I heard something that stayed with me is that systems are built to respond, not prevent. And I think we constantly get in that space where we feel like the schools, workplaces, healthcare systems, they often wait to some type of breakdown before they offer support, right? And so, our cultural stuff is never really it never really is diagnosed and never really addressed. I think also that society is also conditioned to see black folks through the lens of struggle, the danger, you know, urgency, and the crisis reinforces stereotypes that feels familiar to those institutes, those media outlets, and those systems. So that's when that tension spikes is when something like that happens, not when we've been saying the same thing over and over again. Which is why when certain stuff happens, black folks be like, "Well, shoot, we know what it is."
Hmm.
that's a fact. Mental health is overall like how you said with the response is preventative and like people just not willing or ready to jump out there and be able to prevent it. It's always a response to something. So is the question why don't we?
Yeah, why do we think that we're more reactive than proactive?
I don't think we are. I think the system is.
Yeah, there we
I
go.
think, I think it's a systemic issue because the system makes money off of us being reactive. So it's kind of like, you know, if there's not a problem, we can't capitalize on it. Um, and then when the system works that way, it automatically impacts the less privileged um, and the oppressed because we're already not at level playing field for anything. We're always going to reap the consequences, the negative consequences of how the system chooses to work because it doesn't have to work that way. Um, the powers that be choose to keep it that way. And I think a lot of it is based on profit and money because if there's no mental health issues, then there's no pharmaceutical need for depression meds and psychotic medication. It's just we're worried about charging for the wrong things at this point.
For sure.
I
Big
agree.
pharma, as they put it.
Big
So,
insurance.
yeah, oh man. Insurance
Man, these insurance companies are trifling. Like, what is even happening?
is crazy. It is crazy. Because it's almost like you're damned if you don't do, you're damned if you don't, because you get insurance, you pay hundreds of dollars for the insurance, and then when it comes down to needing to use the insurance, it don't pay nothing.
Yeah. And half people don't know. Y'all, if you're watching this or if you are watching it now or later, check your insurance benefits. Call your insurance. There are so many people that come for services and don't realize mental health isn't even part of their plan.
Yeah.
And so you're ending up having to pay out of pocket. So that's another thing. So people think that insurance is all encompassing. Oh, yeah, I have insurance. And then you find out you're not covered for certain things, it's extra,
Mm-hmm.
which means
Yeah,
more
yeah.
money for the insurance company. They're getting more of a premium out of you. And so it's really important for people to understand how insurance works,
For sure.
and how it doesn't work. So
And
call your
it's really hard to
insurance.
figure that out. They make it intention. They
Yes,
make it intentionally vague and hard to figure out. Even when they give you your benefits when you right when you signing up during in like November, they give you like everything. It still be confusing.
yes,
Like what the heck? Is it does this cover or do I gotta pay the deductible for this or do I gotta
yes.
or can I accept that and then it's just you know what I mean?
What's the difference
It's
between a
a
co-payment and a co-insurance?
And I
Yeah,
think
I'm
that keeps a
36
lot,
years old when I figured it out. 35, let's be real.
and that keeps a
35.
lot of our people in our community. I think that keeps a lot of them out of the mental, even pursuing the mental health conversation, is the struggle with the insurances, or they can't afford the insurances, or the insurance that they do have and can't afford doesn't have mental health package attached to it, and so that creates a lot of frustration on top of people who are already struggling. And so when we start talking about what's good for our communities, the insurance piece has been a really big piece of why some people don't even pursue their mental health.
yeah,
that's
that's a
right.
good point. How do y'all think that everything that we just mentioned, from insurance to the reactivity of the system, how do y'all think that harms us as providers and our, well, you mentioned how it kind of harms our clients because they just don't know, but how do you feel like it harms us as providers?
Hmm. I
I'm gonna
got
jump out there and
go
say,
ahead.
as a provider, as I've been starting my practice, learning the information and the education of it all.
Hmm.
Even even well, my program, I don't know about y'all programs, but my programs, they're teaching us certain things. But when it comes to like the insurance, when it comes to the real life organism of having a private practice, learning the education from it. So now I'm behind the ball too on the population that I want to serve, and I know how to serve it, and I have the passion for it, but I still need the I still need the business to go with it. I still need the education to go with it, so I can be informative to not only myself but also to my community as well. So it puts me behind the ball too. So now I have to put in a little bit more extra work to figure out this information, to figure out what is good, what insurance to take, what insurance not to take, how to help people who don't even have insurance who still need the mental health services. So it puts us behind the ball from me, at least for me, from that standpoint.
Hmm.
I, I agree with you on that. I think I've said this before, but like grad school only prepares you to do like the actual work to speak to people and out low key barely at that. They don't teach you the behind the scenes stuff, the stuff makes it possible for you to see the people. And you gotta learn that you got yourself through hard knocks. With the insurance, it's super hard to panel and very frustrating. And there's no security when you panel, and so when you panel with them, they can go for 4 years and 306 later and be like, yeah, run me back that payment I gave you because
Hmm.
XYZ reason. I think the high barrier to accessibility when it comes to how much it costs outside of insurance is diabolical, and the fact that mental health is just now because of Rona. I will say one of the silver linings of Rona is that it put mental health kind of on the map in a sense of it showing how important it really is, and people start making moves. So we're starting to see more insurances pick it up, but they dragging their feet because they can right now. But we need to keep pushing for it.
Absolutely. And then it changes so much.
Hmm.
Insurance changes so much. Like
Yeah.
from one, you know, month to the next they can totally change something that impacts you as a therapist. Like cutouts. Like Magellan did not get, I don't think Magellan got recontracted with BCBS. And so now all my Magellan clients, now what?
Yeah.
Like they make those weird changes. Like you have cutouts bidding against each other to get attached to these bigger companies, which doesn't help anybody but the companies.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else gets the crap for it. We cuss line here?
Yeah. Oh, can you? I don't know why I say yeah.
Monetized, so
I assume, yeah, I assume, yeah. I was like, we all grown.
That is not how I talk.
I reckon
They opened the door on that one.
It's part of my black mental health every day.
I tell people that I use PG-13. Like, so I feel like as long as you keep it PG-13, you can get a shit a damn. You can drop one or two F's in there.
You can drop maybe 1 or 2 F bombs. You know, what I'm saying one booty cheek, not 2. You can get away with a lot with PG-13.
PG-13, so we good.
But
really,
yeah, I mean, I think that's important because even when you think about Medicare and that back and forth about if they can keep telehealth, right? And now they made it to where they have to have like the first appointment in person or something like that, which is like that's not helpful because most of our Medicare clients are either disabled in some way, or elderly, or there's a reason why they're on Medicare. It's not always because of like lack of funding or anything like that. It's not always because of this narrative that Medicare and Medicaid is for people who's only on welfare. That's not true. So it's like all of the stereotypes that comes with having state insurance is ridiculous.
and we don't, for that, people get upset that a lot of practices don't take Medicaid and Medicare. Talk about hard paneling, Brandon. Like to get onto these people, that one is hell.
They
Like
treat you like a buddy. To be honest with you, they treat you like you know what I mean. Like treat you like anything. Like you ain't nobody. Like who? What? This is what we're gonna pay you. Take it or leave it. What? I don't hear you. Call
yes,
somebody
that
else.
was the other thing. So you mean I have to go through all of that to get paneled, and then you don't pay me even close?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Not at all.
No.
And unfortunately, the other aspect of it, even if you do get paneled, is they're much more strict with their ruling, and especially with like accountability. You know what I'm saying? If you have private practice or you're paneled with like these private insurances, the client don't show up, you can hit them on the credit card and get your pay for not showing up. But when you got the Medicaid and Medicare clients, like you can't, if they don't show up, they don't show up, and you just lost that hour. And I see it as a recipient, as someone who has Medicaid and Medicare, that's great. But as someone who's providing care, like that's a light bill. You feel me? So it really does disincentivize clinicians that are not like super well off from like accepting Medicaid clients.
Which then is a systemic on purpose, right? Because
Which I
how
think
many
is by design.
Black and brown people are on state insurance? I mean, we all know numbers wise more white folks are, but like there's a high portion of Black and brown bodied people who are on state insurance. And so if you can't find somebody who's credentialed that looks like you, where are you gonna go?
Good
You
point.
know, anywhere from 100 to 250. You know, a handle of liquor cost 20 to 80.
Yeah. Other things
You
don't
get more
cost
than
that much money.
Mhm. That too, yeah. But I went with liquor because we said we keeping the PG-13.
Right. I didn't know what fell under that.
So let's transition over to maintenance. So we kind of talked about the issues that we're seeing. So what are some everyday practices that we can do to support mental wellness, and not just survival? I know for me, I have learned for myself that I have to go to the gym every morning. Like that's the first thing I do in the morning. crazy things like in the morning. What?
You get up and go to
I do.
That's the best. That's the best time. Unfortunately, that's the best time.
Yes, I do too.
I know that if I get started on anything else, my physical health is going to be out the window. Like I'm not going back and doing it. And so I've learned that that's one thing that I have to do. But also, it starts my day off good. I feel like I can handle some of the stressors that goes on a lot calmer when when I'm going in the morning. Now, Saturday and Sunday, I might not be Dr. T. I don't know what's going to happen on Saturday and Sunday, but Monday through Friday, that's something that I've learned for me as far as just sustaining my mental health.
I got
I
something
agree
for
with
the.
you.
For
I think for me, it's emotional check-ins. Just naming feelings, naming where I'm at, how I'm feeling. Because I think sometimes if we don't do that, then we carry stuff from those days into a Friday, and we never really get to enjoy that Friday because we're still kind of processing how the week went. You know, just start doing things like that, protecting our energy. We all have people that want to come dump stuff, and if it's your Friday or your time where you're trying to do self-care, if you're not careful with that, people will come and I can tell my clients, if somebody came and dumped stuff in your yard, you would look at them like they're crazy. So then why do we allow people to come ring our ear off about issues that they already created for themselves, right?
That makes sense.
Getting rest is another one for me. I ain't got no problem taking a nap. Um, if it's in my schedule, I got 2 or 3 hours. That 30 minutes is coming. Doors is locked. Lights is going off.
white noise is on.
Man, taking that time for myself and then just practicing boundaries. And then one of the big ones I always tell my clients is celebrating small wins. That happens for us too. We celebrate our clients' wins, but sometimes we have to look at our own personal stuff. What did I do this week that helped move me towards my own personal goals? Acknowledging progress and stuff like that. So self-compassion is always something that we have to do as practitioners before we can even show up for those that we're trying to hold space for.
For sure. Jonathan, what were you thinking?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to say, first of all, I ain't had a nap in forever, so
Missing out.
You
Fine.
need to take a nap.
At nighttime, I'm not falling asleep. So I don't know. Maybe that's something I need to work on. So I appreciate that. But for me, as a person who is not about to get up and go to the gym and all of that, like a bunch of Americans, right, who not doing that, what I think is very, very, very beneficial, and it's super simple. I just really like to walk outside. And to take it a step further, all that waking up and like getting on your phone and scrolling and all that, like don't do that. Wake up, walk outside first and catch that first sun, catch that first L. And for me, I think that's just something I do all throughout the day, like because I work from a computer screen, so a lot of times I just gotta walk outside, or else I'll be in the house the whole day or in the office all day. So go outside. It's simple, but it works.
I feel attacked, Jonathan.
Oh, really? I'm sorry. Why do you feel attacked?
You waking up, scrolling. That's why.
Oh, my bad. No, it ain't you. I'm talking to like the world. You feel me?
Oh yeah, for real. But it's true. That time I be scrolling on the phone, getting mad too, because
Right.
something stupid happened while I was asleep.
And time out, your algorithm is already set to the bullshit you like to look at anyway, so it's gonna get you something that's gonna trigger your emotions anyway. So
And remind me how much stuff I have in my Amazon cart that I haven't bought.
Yeah,
does it give you a notification for that or something?
Huh?
It give you a notification for that or something?
No, I go in it.
Oh, okay.
you can have more stuff.
But the point is, it clouds.
What can I sneak in this order from Save for Later that my husband won't notice when he clicks to buy it?
You know now.
Just do that outside.
Oh yeah.
On that walk.
Do it while you're walking. Do it while you're walking.
I think a big self self-maintenance, self-care is one what we're doing right now. Community laughing. And
Yeah.
something that I'm currently doing is I know we've become a society we have become good at having and become horrible at holding. So
Mm.
I'm learning to some things where I don't think that I idolize. Like I like buying shoes. I'm not a sneakerhead because I get shoes on clearance. I don't got to have the latest, but I get shoes that fits me. But I'm starting to recognize like I really don't need these shoes. Why am I
Mm.
like I have enough shoes that I don't even wear. So for me, what I've been practicing is just being thankful, being present is one, being thankful for the small things, and being thankful for what I already got because it's already enough.
For sure.
So I don't have to go buy more things. I can if I want to, but I don't have to.
Yeah.
So I've been practicing that a lot, getting better at holding on to things and rethinking things instead of, oh, I gotta have that, I gotta have this. Like not looking at my phone. I'm doing no social media right now. I do get up and work out. I'm watching those things that I idolize. Let me give that up. Let me just see. Can I do without? And I'm enjoying where I'm currently at with the journey of that. So
Well, hopefully you'll rub off on us with the not needing stuff.
Look, that's what I'm saying. I want to be like you when I grow up.
Can I
I
ask?
just started this at the beginning of the year, so I'm still new.
23 days longer than me.
This is true.
Can I add something to what he just
Yeah.
said? That like really stood out to me is that community thing, man, and that like that goes back to those phones. I ain't trying to be that guy, but I am. But like
Old.
we really don't have community like we used to especially as Black people in generations past. Like it's just like especially after the pandemic, people have like just spread out and it's got thinner and thinner. So the fact that you even said getting back to community, and the fact that we acknowledging that like sitting here with other people, our peers or whatever, laughing, is like we recognize we don't do that much.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody does it. So yeah, community that stood out to me. That's a big thing.
It's so interesting because I don't know if y'all have seen it come across your algorithm, but there's this site on or this page on Facebook. I know Darian just said he's off of social media right now, but it's called Black Archives, and it's of like
Yes.
older photos that photographers used to take of the community. And it's just so interesting to see how many family reunions were photographed, how many different weddings, and who all was there. Just like random pictures of like people out. I'm sure they were partying. Like, I'm sure
Was
that's what
the
they were
kids
doing.
playing outside? Like did they have pictures of kids?
Yeah, kids
Yes.
outside. It's so interesting. But
Don't worry. We'll send them to you. We'll
What's
put
it
them in the
called?
group chat.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
what
called
called?
Black Archive. Black
Black
Archive.
Archive.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Wait, I just heard it. You're gonna drop the links.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it because it's so interesting. I don't know none of these people. However, if you find your city, you realize that people be looking like they people.
Mm.
Yes.
Because I was like, now I don't know none of these people in these photos, but I know your descendants.
Oh, it's like way back.
Mm-hmm. Like
Yeah.
1920s
Oh, that's
to
hard.
1970s.
Sometimes
Mm.
they do, but sometimes they'll throw in like a 90s throwback
Mm-hmm.
or like a, 80s,
Man,
90s throwback there
I
too.
love
I
those
keep
old
forgetting that
70s
90s is
pictures. They
30
got
years
the
ago now.
they standing, yeah. They standing by like the cars, like the old players used to take
Yes.
high ass pictures back in the 70s. I go through and look through like my family stuff, and we don't even do that much no more. Everybody got a camera, but it's not even like that type of energy around
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I was just thinking about that. I was like, oh my God,
The cameras be fire too, and we don't use
photo
the cameras.
albums.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
We
Like,
don't
It's like
print them out
hieroglyphics
anymore.
that we do not have no
Got
more.
my photo
Physical
album.
photos.
yeah, I do too. I definitely do.
I still go sneak my
I
mama's
mean, I
photo.
have them.
In fact, I've been intentional about going through a year's worth of photos and putting some in there just so my kids can view that. I found that very, something that we can look through together. Because what I found was when we go over to my mom's house,
Mm.
and find those pictures of me looking janky, in the shirt that mama put me in, and they have questions and stuff. It's a good moment, but it allows them to see some of my past. So that's something I've been intentional with.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to share that, y'all. It's so I don't know. It's just nice that someone has those photos.
Yeah.
Um, so I got a question. What are some things that y'all feel like you had to unlearn now that you're a mental health professional?
Ooh, something that I have to unlearn. I'm going through the process of unlearning things. I don't know if y'all go through this, but us being mental health professionals, I'm gonna say my personal life. A lot of people be like, "Don't try to therapize me," or, and it makes me think like, "Am I really doing that?" And then I have to recognize I'm unlearning. Like, no, I know how to separate me being a therapist versus me just being myself. It's the people who can't
Yeah.
separate the two. I know exactly who I am when I'm doing therapy. I know exactly who I am when I'm in my personal life. And I'm just asking you a simple question. And it has nothing to do with a therapeutic, I guess, approach. But this is just me being me. Because I was this, I became this. It wasn't the opposite way around. But
Mhm.
I'm unlearning that. Like, no, I know how to separate the two. I know exactly who I am. It's them who can't separate the two.
I
They
would
they make an assumption.
I would
So
also challenge that though, Darian. Like, I am the same person. I think it's also too like when people are like, "Don't therapize me," what you mean is don't try to diagnose me.
mm, it's
Well, nigga,
another
I
way
ain't.
to
Oh,
look at
can
it.
you say nigga?
No, niggas, it's on the PG-13 list. They
Oh,
can't
okay.
say nigga.
I was like, nigga, I ain't trying to
PG-13.
diagnose you. I mean, I might have already in my head, but like who I am is a person that is
Yeah.
inquisitive. Who I am
Right.
is a person that if you bring something to me and you want to talk about it, well, sometimes I might be like but most of the time I'm gonna be like, wait a minute,
I get that. I get that
you
perspective.
know, like, what
Another
do you
nice way to look at
mean? But it's also too, it goes to your point of like other people don't understand who
Mhm.
I am as a human because I'm a good therapist. I care about people.
it. Yes.
Right.
That this is just me caring.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
that lens that you're talking about is once you become healed in certain areas, then you're able to see the brokenness in others. And I think a lot
Right.
of people are running from being seen. They're
That's
running from
facts.
being seen, right? And
That's
so
real.
Have you seen it? Have you seen the change? Like when they ask you what you do and you tell them, and then like you see like their whole demeanor just like
yeah,
switch up on
Yeah.
you.
I
Like,
get people want to open up about stuff I didn't ask about.
they want information without the investment.
Yes.
That's
Mhm.
Oh my gosh, look,
I don't
somebody
know how this works,
so
but
cool.
I don't know.
it only works with Facebook. It looks like.
Appreciate
Oh, Dr. James.
Well, YouTube works too.
Oh, there you go. Now it's
Oh
coming up
my gosh.
because
Oh,
I
word.
that's
see
been sitting here
that.
for 38 minutes. Like, that hello been sitting there for 38 minutes. It just popped up.
Yeah. But what y'all both said was super cool because I'm like, when you said unlearn, I'm like, you know what I learned, I think, was a little bit more of an awareness about myself. And I
mm,
Yeah,
think that kind of goes with what you saying. I feel like when you like aware of who you are, you kind of you from doing it, you kind of learn like what your triggers are, how you move. I just now when you sit in front of a person, like he just said, it's just like you're healed.
Yep.
Absolutely.
and it's
I
things that you can't
agree.
unsee. Unfortunately, sometimes it's things you can't unsee as well. Once you have that awareness, and like
Oh,
I think it does impact how you personally move through the world and how you interact with other people when you notice these things. It can be easy.
Darren's got a client. Jerry, you got a client too, huh?
So Darian and Terry has to go have clients and help treat our people, but we will finish the
Doing the work.
First of
conversation.
all, I forgot to say, man, we just had some. We had 4 black men and 2 women in a therapy space.
That's
Like
you
that
never
is
see that. You never see that. That's
there's
unprecedented.
more men than women, and then more black men than women. That's hard.
Yes.
That's hard.
And that's why I wanted to curate this collective because I don't think enough Black men and Black boys see that they can reach the level of healing that you guys are sharing with the community. And so that's why, but also, I mean, I just connect with men.
What,
Yeah,
what,
but like it's hard to find. Like when people they say like, "Oh my
It
God,
is.
we want the black therapist." Oh my God, but it's like, no, we out here. You just
It
gotta
is.
Black male therapists are what people are looking for. Like a lot of people are looking for black male therapists, and if we can't see them, where do we find them? But
Mhm.
I think too, like when we saw a previous panel and decided, like, hey, we need to continue this, it was heavy on the black men in this space need to be heard. They need to be seen and they need to be heard. Um,
Absolutely.
just no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
why y'all feel that way? I want to know, like, why, like, from a woman's perspective, why do you feel like black men need to be heard?
Because y'all need to take over some of this work. No, I'm just kidding. Um,
Nah, you dead ass. You been dead ass.
um, I mean, part of it, yes. But I also think, too, women, especially Black women, to the detriment of us, are often seen as the nurturers, the healers, the people that are supposed to be there when people need to be caught. But as we've evolved as a society, a lot of that has changed. And that's due to the presence of mental health, especially after COVID, and other Black men seeing the need for therapy, but not really feeling comfortable with the lack of shared experience as a Black woman. Like, I don't know what it's like to live as a Black man. We have different fears, we have different stressors, we have, a collective fear as a Black community, or collective fears. But when we think about me serving a Black man, I'm going to take a different approach than maybe a Black man can for them. And I think it's also important to recognize the need to have a healed Black male therapist, kind of
Mhm.
what we were talking about before. Um, because I mean, I've had to check a lot of Black men and men just period in my sessions, that feel ugly for me to have to do. But if another Black male is doing it, I feel like it has a different impact.
For
I
sure.
I agree. I agree. That's been my
Um,
experience.
but also, when we say that Black men need to be seen and heard a lot more, um, I think the narrative is that men in general, but specifically Black men, your job is to provide, but you're worth more than that. And I think that our community needs to treat you as such. And so I think that giving more Black men the platform to be able to communicate their emotions, communicate their needs, communicate, because the series is going to go over a whole bunch of different topics, right? And so providing that space to have the words to what the feelings are, I think is going to go so far. And so I would piggyback off of what Carissa said, um, with that too.
I can dig
I agree. I
it.
agree. To Chris' point, like my experience, like because sometimes I try to do like a little survey, like why did you choose me type questions, and when it comes to like my woman clients, a lot of times the women specifically seek me out, not me by name, but like a male therapist, like male therapist, just for that different perspective. You know, what I'm saying they may have been in therapy for years, and all they've seen is women. So let me switch it up and get a different perspective, maybe looking for something a little bit more direct or what have you. Um, yeah. And then to Dr. T's point of um, men being, more than just providers, I think therapy can help broaden the definition of providing. Now, it's not just money you're providing here. You're also
Yes.
providing emotional like safety. You're also providing, mental safety. And if you want to provide those safety, that type of safety, you got to have it to give. So with yourself, so you gotta show up. You gotta get secure within yourself, so you can then provide that safe space for your woman.
For sure.
Yeah. I think like sometimes like black men can approach it and feel like I don't know what they see, TV, something, whatever their idea is, it's not that, right? So they had this idea, so they worked up. But when they sit down and like it's like, nah, we like from the same area. Like if you from Houston, I know the same stuff you done, went to the same places you went to. Like we to see a person that's like, oh shit, you kind of like me, but you also have the knowledge and the vocabulary and the tools to kind of because they might not even understand their emotions. A lot of times they just all over the place. Like I don't know what to do. I'm gonna just drink, right?
Yes.
When you can put the words to it and help like define what's going on, and then they can realize. I think it goes far, but the biggest thing is getting them in the door. I don't know how this turned into like we're trying to help black men, but I don't know. It's just what I want to do in
I
life.
mean,
So
it's
No,
real.
well,
It's real
because
shit.
it's true. It's true. And the comment by Dr. James Wallace about society portraying therapy in harmful ways for Black men, I think it also goes to society doesn't just see Black men as providers, they see Black men as like strength.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the if anything, the Black man's got it. Whether we treat him as such or not. But like that has then caused the internalization for Black men to say, like, I got it and I don't need help. And if I do need help, I sure ain't going to no therapist. Like, they don't know me. I don't know them. I don't care if it's a Black dude. How's he going to help me? He doesn't know my life. I've had a Black male client say, how are you going to help me? You ain't never been to prison. I sure haven't. And I don't plan on it. But what I can tell you is that I know it's trauma based. So
Right.
can we talk about feelings about it? Like, it's how can we just like get anybody, Black men specifically though, right? But like Black folks, how can we get Black folks to start talking about emotions and like how we're actually feeling in a moment? And so for me, when I'm seeing clients, I'm heavy focused on emotional intelligence. How are people going to help you if they don't know how you're feeling?
Absolutely.
And if you don't know how you're feeling, if you use the wrong feeling word, oh, we're operating on different levels then. Because if you're actually hurt, but you tell me you're mad, I'm going to react two different ways.
Mm-hmm.
If you're mad, you got it. Like, I'll let you calm down over there. But if you tell me you're hurt, I'm probably going to pull you in further. Hey, what's going on? Like, what hurt you? Was it me? Did something happen? Like, those are two different directions that somebody's going to go in terms of what words are being used, because words matter.
Right.
Which is why they didn't want us to be able to read. Anyway, that's a whole different.
I was actually going to take it there. They always say that the biggest tool that you can have is your education, right? Like that's the best weapon you can have. And
from a black man, put it in a book. That's always been what I heard.
What happened?
If you want to hide something from a black man, put it in a book.
Yes.
And I think that when we change the narrative about intelligence on all fronts, we change the narrative in the trajectory of Black communities, right? Because when you are able to get more education, you're able to level up in a different way. When you're able to emotionally engage, you're able to level up in a different way, right? And you're able to sustain better. And so, y'all.
It's a wisdom.
This gets deep.
Oh my gosh, y'all. People have been commenting on my Facebook.
Oh, word?
What they say?
They're engaging, but how come my things aren't popping?
Why it ain't? Yeah. You just said something back to you about leveling up, and I feel like sometimes there's a fear in leveling up.
Yeah.
But
I,
yeah,
I, sometimes that's a question I ask: is are you afraid of success, or are you afraid of failure, or are you afraid of success? And sometimes the fear feels the same.
Yeah.
oh my gosh, yes. But being able to have the language to say, right? Like, ugh, this is, this is fear. Like, I'm scared of this, or, like, success does scare me.
Mm-hmm.
To somebody who doesn't get that, it's going to sound crazy. Like, what do you mean success scares you? Like, well, that's what you want to do. That's what I raised you to be successful. What do you mean you scared?
Or not
I
even
don't know
success.
whose grandmama I was just emulating, but you know,
Just the generations of like the same thing, like just seeing the same thing. Like my daddy did this, my granddaddy did,
yes.
not knowing that, I know they did that and that's great and they probably did a great job, but you can do that and this.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing that you can go further than, your ancestors. I don't know if that's the right term, ancestors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, when you think about ancestors, you think about real old people, but it's like literally if somebody just passed, I think they're considered an ancestor.
Gotcha. All right. Yeah,
I think.
maybe.
I mean, technically, because they are no longer
Probably
here.
right. I'm not a
But
strong vote.
I agree, though. I think that there is a level of fear because when you think about it, um, you can be so far ahead that you don't even know what to do with that level of success, that level of
Yo,
money,
yes.
that level of like, what do you do? What do you do with it? Like,
It goes back to, oh my gosh, I just saw this black TikTok creator. He is documenting like his running journey, but
mhm,
then he started throwing in other things in there. And he said one day he was on his porch at his backyard and he had his elbows on the edge of the thing and he was like, y'all, I've been raising my kids to have what I didn't have and to be able to live in a world that I didn't have to live in. And I realized I don't know how to parent that.
mhm,
And I was like, me either. I don't know either because my kids are fine. They look, shout out to my mama. I've not had to be on food stamps. I make quite a bit of money between me and my husband. Like, we go on vacations. My kids have passports. My youngest just turned 2. I didn't have a passport until I was way older. So,
mhm.
like, just these types of things and these privileges that I'm able to give to my kids that I didn't have, your girl's lost sometimes.
So,
Did you just walk in here and tell me you're bored?
Yeah.
What?
what trips me out with kids, this is the craziest thing because my kids live a different life than I live, right? And I ain't live a bad life, but they live a different life.
Yes.
The fact that they don't have mesh or clear backpacks and they have not had to go through metal detectors at their school is crazy to me. I'm like, they don't understand. They like every year they pick out what Lilo and Stitch, whatever kind of backpack they want. I'm like, I never got to wear the backpack of my choice. Like I wanted a Jordan backpack. I couldn't wear that. You had to have. It's crazy.
Look,
That's real. But
that was
that's
the
how it's supposed to be though.
benefit.
The fact that they can do that, I mean, it speaks well to your
Yes.
success.
They have freedom. That the freedoms I didn't get to choose if I like this or like that. They get to choose. So it's just it
Look,
blows my mind. Backpacks.
look. But for real,
For real though.
that was the benefit of growing around a bunch of white folks though. I got to pick my backpack.
Oh
That's
man.
right. But also on the flip side, they don't go outside like we used to either. So
They don't.
Nah.
you
That
know what I mean?
I think was on one of those archives photos. It was like, or maybe it was just something that was out there as a meme. It was like back in the day, this is how we knew whose house everybody was at because everybody was outside.
That's so real though. Because you
Well,
don't.
the kids aren't playing basketball on streets. I remember growing up, like every street in my neighborhood, we would go from one street to the next.
Faucet water.
Yes, Foursquare.
Y'all drink faucet. Y'all drink faucet water.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like at the sink. I ain't really had to do
No,
that.
like from like
Oh, from outside
like
the house?
the
Yeah,
little
yeah, for
side
sure. Yeah,
spigot. Like the side spigot that's outside.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Because once you go inside, you
Yes.
inside. You know what I mean? So you had to you had to make it work.
You couldn't go
Yeah.
inside because you was smelling and stuff. So I
I mean, I'm sure that was the reason, but that's not what they said. They said once you inside,
Yeah.
you inside.
Yep. You're the inside or outside. Don't come in here again.
Don't
what's
be
funny
Hmm.
is I do that with my kids. I be yelling, "Yeah, y'all need to go outside."
Yeah. Because they stink. You
My
either
bad.
come
I
in
like
here and
outside.
shower or stay outside until it's time to come in.
exactly.
Or my child, yo, we live on a cul-de-sac. There is no basketball hoop in that
Oh, that's
cul-de-sac.
fancy.
I'm like, we ain't got kids around here. I mean, we really don't have a lot, but there's enough where you would think there would be a cul-de-sac. I don't live in the cul-de-sac, it's right across the street.
I'm
But
the house with the basketball goal in the
huh?
cul-de-sac. I say I'm the one with the goal
I'm
outside.
about to, I feel like I need to take it upon myself and get one to put over there for the kids to play with. But then I'm worried about them
Nah,
grouchy neighbors being all mad about the ball bouncing, and some of them white folks don't like the kids to be on their lawn. And I'm like, all right.
oh goodness. Okay, well,
There you go.
But it's
HOA
just
will
weird.
have it with us.
It's so weird.
my bad. We ventured off. I don't know where we were, but I got it.
Listen,
We're being
it's a
nostalgic.
conversation. This is Black mental
Yeah.
wellness every
Every
day.
day, Black Mental Health Day. Yeah,
All day.
part of it.
So,
First of
because
many.
our tapping on an hour, um, I want to know. Well, I think because we did talk about how we were going to give the people information on therapy. What's the difference between, or the benefits between in person and telehealth to y'all?
Hmm. That's a good question because to be honest with you, I've never done an in-person therapy session. Like I started during the pandemic, so all I've done is telehealth. Um, but I know from telehealth, it's the convenience,
Mm-hmm.
the accessibility. You ain't got to worry about traffic. You ain't got to worry about finding parking. You ain't got to worry about all of those things. From a therapist perspective, you ain't got to worry about rent for an office. The same traffic. You know what I'm saying? Like you save time between sessions because you don't have to. It's a quicker turnaround.
Yeah.
Um, but for the in person, I can't really speak to it. I'm gonna let one of y'all do it since whoever's done in person.
I go because I started during the pandemic too. So all through schooling and everything, it was all virtual because the pandemic happened while I was in school. So I didn't really start until after I graduated doing in person and just kind of getting that feel. What I feel
Jonathan, I thought you were gonna say I started during the pandemic and I didn't give up. I was seeing
no, no,
people
no.
anyway.
No, PG-13. I'm not going R. I won't do it.
Oh,
I stay in my pocket. But I will say that the convenience for telehealth is there. But I also think that it's a distraction level with telehealth because
That's
it is
true.
so convenient. So you're kind of like in your home or like in your car. Like it's other stuff going on. And what I've noticed in person, it can to me it feels like it goes by faster because it's like I don't know, you're together. So it's just like it's just a different vibe. I think they both are beneficial. I prefer virtual because it is more convenient, but I like to kind of mix it up. Like pull
Yeah.
up at the office one time. Let's do that. Like let me see how tall are people? Like that's what I always wonder. Like how tall are you actually? Are you 6'8" or are you 5'2"?
for real.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the
That's true. And
nosy
also
thing.
you miss out on the body. I do notice that you miss out on the body language that
I was gonna
seeing
say
it virtually because you really only see either like
Yeah.
the chest up or if they really zoomed in the neck up. So I think you miss a lot of the
You
body
don't know
language
who's
that
fidgeting
from
or
a
people
yeah,
could be
it's
fidgeting.
fidgeting,
that.
showing their emotions. So I do think that's like I'm gonna say a challenge. There we go of
Yeah.
telehealth.
Yeah, for sure. Um, I've done both. So I would say in person, it's challenging for me because, well, y'all might think I'm crazy because y'all actually know me outside of this. But I was going to say it's challenging for me because it makes me actually think quicker on my toes. So like if someone comes in and let's say we talked about something last week or whatever, and they come in and today is a completely different thing. So whatever I had planned for them and then last session, I have to, figure out something else. And so in person though, um, you actually get to see like that, like y'all were saying. But also I feel like it is a little bit more personable because they can't hide behind the telehealth screen or the computer or their phone or whatever. But kind of same thing as y'all. It's a lot more convenient telehealth wise, but also because a lot of things are digital, it does make it a little bit more. I get to feed my creativity a little bit more
Yeah.
on how I'm gonna address certain things or do certain things. So I like in both of them. I don't see many people in person right now though.
Yeah.
People think I'm like, so I offer walk and talk, but no one's taken me up on it yet.
You want to
Same,
walk and talk?
I
same,
do. I offer that, but no one's taken me up on it yet.
I like outside.
same.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going out by the bugs.
See that? See,
Yeah,
that's what we're talking about. Black people don't like to be outside for real.
But they are going to learn because we're going to challenge them to do something different. Because what I know is black people like what I like to call tall people activities. They just don't do it. They don't do it a weekend or an event, but they'll go to black ski weekend. They'll go to black hiking weekend. They just don't do it randomly throughout the year.
I
Well,
mean,
that's true.
I think we go to Black Ski Weekend and Black Hiking Weekend for different reasons, though.
Yeah,
But
they're trying to find their husband.
no. Black people who enjoy outdoors. It's few and far between.
Nah,
But
they're trying. They're trying to see some fun shit. That's what they're trying to do. That's keep it
Exactly.
moving.
That's all.
Oh,
while
dude,
you're
like,
there.
depending on where you live, like I could walk and run into a snake. No.
Jump out the way.
No.
Snake was there first. Chill out. You be all right.
I'm gonna be the client at that point. Like,
You got insurance, right?
no. What? Yes.
That snake not worried about you.
You don't know that. And
The
bugs.
snake worried about you. The snake worried about you.
Well, the bugs don't care.
Snakes do not have a history of attacking humans. Humans have a history of attacking snakes.
You're right, but they don't know my heart.
Okay. Well, my point is, some people enjoy outdoors, and it goes back. It's beneficial. So sometimes you gotta get out there and walk. And
I'm not gonna lie, I do enjoy a good walk. I don't know about walking and talking, but I will say that from a therapeutic lens, it makes sense. So if you are watching and you are a client or would like to be a client, I would encourage the walk and talks if you can find one because it's bilateral stimulation. It's just another way of processing through bilateral stimulation as you're walking and talking. And so I don't know, maybe we'll have a talk about
Your thought stuff
EMDR.
is flow smoother.
It's really beneficial. I think going back to in person versus virtual, I've done both too. I started therapy in 2017 or something. And I only knew in person for so long and it was so hard to switch to virtual. But now that I am able to do virtual, I think it's like, right, Brandon, like back to back, right? I can do back to backs. I don't have to, worry about like that in person. All right, okay, now it's time to go. Let's get up and walk out.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's, all right, it's time to go, click. Like, I don't be hanging up on my clients like that, but it's a lot easier of a transition. I also feel like it helps me with my creativity. I have more access to my brain, or quicker on my feet, like you said, to like being online. And as a mom, it's just so much easier to be at home most days and just be able to log off and not lose that time of driving back and forth and just being able to like walk out my door and there's my family. So that's part of why I love virtual, is because it doesn't feel like I'm having to like make up any time from a therapist perspective, while still being able to help people. Also, too, like not being able to see my clients doesn't really bother me as much, because, like, you said you were anxious. I bet you're fidgeting. We're working through hard stuff. I hope you're fidgeting. I hope you're regulating in some way, because I think Gottman, that like theory is fine, but sometimes I think it pathologizes too hard. Like,
Yeah.
I don't have to see you to know that you're stressed or that you're, going through a lot, because we're definitely talking about hard shit. So I would hope that there's a regulatory way that you're dealing with that in the moment. And if you're not, I could probably tell you're not based on how you're responding or not responding to me. So I think being able to experience in person for so long and then having to move into virtual, I was able to transition. I had a really long transition period, by the time COVID hit, to kind of go from, all right, well, do we know that insurance is actually providing, virtual, and like, what does that look like? And for a long time, it was only platforms like Alma and Headway and all that stuff that I really knew about. But I love virtual. And when people are like, we get a lot of clients that say they prefer in person, and we're always like, would you be open to trying virtual? And then most of them end up loving it. But it's just like, it's that accessibility. I have clinicians who live in Houston. Like, they're able to see clients from anywhere in Texas, like most of us are, and elsewhere if we're licensed in other states. Like, being able to see a client in Wisconsin, or in Utah, of all places, they were free during COVID. But like, I'm licensed in those states, so to be able to provide therapy not just to Texas, but also other states, it's pretty dope, I think.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Um, Now I don't see clients in all 6 of the states that I'm licensed in, but
Wild. That.
but the option to do that is nice.
Yes.
Well, I am going to end it here. Thank you so much to the panelists for sharing your wisdom. I think the main point of today was to share that care for yourself. It doesn't require sacrificing yourself, especially if you're a provider. You don't have to sacrifice yourself to help others. And, wellness for Black mental health is an everyday thing. It's not something that we should just visit every blue moon. And so, with that being said, we will see y'all next month to talk about relationships. But
That's gonna be a good one.
I'm excited. Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how much Carissa's going to dig into my personal life. We'll see how that goes.
It's all out of love, boo. It's all out of love.
Bye,
Should we
guys.
show up, y'all? So we need that man's perspective on these relationships for sure.
Yes.
Can't let them take over. Have it sound any type of way. No, we know how y'all do.